Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 here to preview Wednesday's games in the SEC tournament. They're in our backyard in Nashville. There are two games. We will start first with Ole Miss and South Carolina. South Carolina actually the home team in this one. According to seeding, Carolina being the 12. Computers have made their guesses on lines. We don't have actual lines as we do this on Monday morning, but what we got is Ken Pomeroy with Ole Miss as a 5-point favorite. Bart Torvik has Ole Miss as a 5.6-point favorite, and Jeff Sagarin has Ole Miss a 6.8-point favorite. That averages out to Ole Miss as a 5.8-point favorite. And I think, let's see, Ken Pomeroy gives Ole Miss a 31% chance to win. Bart Torvik gives South Carolina a 28% and a 31% chance for Ken Pom. All right, all that out of the way. I don't like the team that is favored in this one to win this one, Blake.
That's interesting. I don't know. This is one where it's like this is the Wednesday night game, so I really don't have a great expectation for what's going to happen in this one. But yeah, I mean, you say that. I obviously South Carolina's played better, but I mean, they still lost by 40 at Tennessee and those kind of things. And I mean, Ole Miss, when you really look at it, I mean, Ole Miss is, I mean, they've had some close games too. When you really think about it, I mean, I've kind of said that all season long. A lot of their games, even recently, have been close. So I haven't won some of them, but lost by 5 at Missouri, lost by 8 at home to A&M, lost by 4 at Auburn. Overtime loss home to Mississippi State. So it's like, I mean, I think these teams are pretty even, and that's why they're in this game. Yeah, I don't love the pick either way here. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I think I'll go South Carolina, but it's very slight. I just, when you look at these two teams, they split the regular season, right? Yeah, South Carolina lost the first meeting in Columbia. Second meeting was in Oxford. They won that one by 3. If you can tell me what the separator is between these two, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think I'll go South Carolina unless you have something else to add on this one.
Well, here's two things, okay? I'm not saying Ole Miss has quit because Ole Miss has not quit. Ole Miss has continued to play hard, but it's going to have a coaching change or already had a coaching change. Ole Miss was a team that maybe had some NCAA tournament aspirations before the season. There's really not a whole lot to play for. Carolina has had very much nothing to play for all year. I mean, G.G. Jackson showcasing himself for the NBA, maybe, and they went through that little spell where he was sideways with the Lamont Paris over the tweet, I guess. But since he's come back, they've continued to play well. I think on a given night, you got Chico Carter, Hayden Brown. You got a lot of guys, Michi Johnson, capable of nice pop-up scoring nights. I just don't see the firepower from Ole Miss. I see a Carolina team that when it was dead and buried and had some potential chemistry issues, it fought through them and got to the other side. I see an Ole Miss team that's whoever's back is going to be playing for a different coach next year. I just see Carolina having more to play for. I see Carolina playing decently well. No, it's hit and miss. They could win one night and get beat by 40 the next, but that playing well is part of Carolina's DNA, and I just got a feeling in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this going either way. Ole Miss has not played bad basketball, and I think that's worth keeping in mind. I mean, again, these two teams have struggled and had their issues, but I mean, I think when you get in these neutral type games, this time of year, it's really hard when you talk about the Wednesday night games. Like, what are you going to get out of these teams? Because why are they here, right? It's because they've been inconsistent and they've struggled in multiple areas, and I think that's kind of what you get here. So yeah, I think the spread should be closer. I'm okay if Ole Miss is favored, but I just think this is like, I have no idea in terms of how this game's going to play out, just because I think there's so many ways you could go here. So, yeah, so I will go that route too. I'll take South Carolina, but this is like a 51-49% type game for me. So,
boy, you talk about 51-49%. That is exactly what the computers are saying on this next one. LSU and Georgia. Georgia is the Home team in this one, Georgia is a point favorite by Ken Pomeroy, a 0.2 point favorite by Bart Torvik, and then Jeff Sagarin has got LSU as a 1.8 point favorite. What that averages out to between the three, and BPI is not up as we're doing this on Monday morning, or we would have included that one. Georgia is a 0.2 point favorite in this one, or excuse me, underdog. Yeah, with a 51% chance to win by Ken Pomeroy and a 51% chance to win by Bart Torvik. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going the underdog. LSU has played hard. It's got the biggest star in this game. Georgia has been awful lately. You thought Georgia might have a little run in it after that win over Kentucky, and it followed it up with the win over, might have been Ole Miss. I don't remember now, but lost 5 in a row at this point. LSU beat Vanderbilt, what was it, a week or two ago now, which it would get a rematch with Vanderbilt. So I guess if you're LSU, you're going, hey, we win this one. We got a Thursday opponent we've already shown we can beat. I just like the way LSU is trending better in this one, and like the Tigers for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, think about how close that game was last time. Came down to the wire there. Georgia hits a big shot, wins the game, kept the losing streak going for LSU. So yeah, I mean, LSU was right there with a chance. That was one of those games we talked about for LSU. You just get a little more out of somebody other than KJ Williams, and you probably win that one, snap the streak a little earlier, and get on your way. But yeah, it was. I mean, again, these are two teams that have had their issues, and I think I'm with you. I'm surprised that I'm doing it, but I think I'm actually kind of with you on that. I think I will probably take LSU because Georgia obviously had a pretty disappointing finish to the season, and just as we talked about, just had not played great basketball down the stretch. And I think again, remember what we talked about with Georgia this year. They've not been great away from home, and I think that's something. I mean, look, we're talking about LSU too, right? They had a huge losing streak. I'm not acting like LSU is superior in that regard, but just to point out that it's talking about just how teams play, away from home. LSU hadn't been great either, but I think the KJ Williams effect, what he can do, and obviously you've got, I think on the other side, I mean, you look at what Braylon Bridgers can do there and all that, but I mean, you can never have a great feel on these games, and I think LSU probably actually has a little more positive momentum right now than Georgia. So yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm going to take LSU, and it would at least be something LSU can lean on heading into the next round after just a very, very disappointing season, as we know, and maybe the Tigers will get it in Nashville. So
we will be there in Bridgestone Arena covering the tournament. Best way to follow our stuff, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. That helps us a little bit too. So in any case, tell a friend. Hope to see you guys at the SEC tournament. He's Blake Lovell. I'm Chris Lee. Lots more stuff coming up. We got bracketology. We just did awards. So don't miss any of it.
Don't mention that, awards. Chris. Don't mention awards because the backlash has started, it seems. So don't mention awards. We might need
a nap after awards. All right. Yeah. In any case. All right. Thanks for watching Southeastern 14. We'll see you soon.